public services. It affects every single person in this car park today. And this election for me is the battle for Britain. It's a battle for the heart and soul of this country, because for far too long we've been giving this country away to different cultures and people that we import into this country just do not like our way of life. They don't respect our history, our heritage, our culture. But I'm going to shut up, because you've not come to see me. I'm only the candidate in the general election. You've come to see the star of the jungle. It was absolutely fixed, so you don't need to listen to me, Babylon. Here's Nigel Farage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I've got to say, the pint here is a lot better than what they made me drink in the jungle. There's no question. Now, I'm sure you're all absolutely riveted by this general election campaign.
Not really.
We've got these huge personalities. We've got Sir Keir Starmer. I've got to tell you, if I listen to him speak, I zone out within minutes. And then we've got the so sincere, slippery Sunak. He wants to bring back national service. He's going to send planes to Rwanda. And do you know the problem? None of it's true. And after what they promised people in 2019, we now don't believe a single word that they say. Not a word. And before, I tell you what, for the last few days, we picked up another 3 percentage points in the polls. The establishment are absolutely terrified of us, and so they should be, because we represent the voice of Middle England. And Lee Anderson tells me that Ashfield is the capital of common sense. Now, Lee, in many ways, in some ways, Lee is typical of millions of people. In other ways, he's very untypical of most people. I've just met his mum. It's all her fault. The difference is Lee says in public what millions of people say in private. Something is going horribly wrong. Nothing works anymore. And we're led by people who are happy to see our history, our culture, everything generations that have gone before us have stood for. They're happy to see it ruined, denigrated. Our kids in schools being taught what a horrible country we are. When actually, we've been one of the most amazing countries in the history of the world. I want our kids to be taught how great Britain is, not how blooming awful Britain is. I want us to believe in who we are, what we are. So we are overwhelmingly a patriotic party. And that doesn't mean we're against anybody. We're not against anyone at all. We just think it's the job of the British government to actually put British people and British interests first, ahead of everybody else, ahead of global agreements, and that's what matters. Now look, we're in a position here where in a couple of weeks' time, people will sit down at breakfast and they'll know, because of the opinion polls, that Labour are going to win. It's a fact. And they'll realise, actually, because it's not a close election, you can now vote for what you actually believe in. And that makes Conservative and Labour voters freer to vote for Lee, freer to vote for our candidates all over the country. Our advantage is we're standing up for common sense. We're saying what most people, the silent majority, really think. Our disadvantage is we've not been around very long. We haven't got the big structure, we haven't got the big money the others have got. But I tell you what we have got, we've got you. And we need you. And Lee needs you to be fishers of men. We want you to go out, spread the word. Just conversation, whether it's in, the local bingo hall, whether it's in the pub. I've spent 30 years going round pubs in this country, endlessly. Often several every day. I don't even like drinking beer, but that's not true. But no, seriously, even the conversation in the pub, if it's a reasonable conversation, you can make people actually start to think that voting for reform is a viable, sensible option. I was told for years when I led UKIP, it's a waste of time. You never get anywhere. Britain will never leave the European Union. Well, I look back fondly on that day when I went back into the European Parliament after the referendum, and I said to them, when I came here 17 years ago, I said I'd lead a campaign to get Britain out of the European Union, and you all laughed at me. Well, I said, you're not laughing now, are you? And the same applies here. The same applies here. They say, oh, you'll never get anywhere. It's all about Labour and Conservative. This is our first great battle in what is a 6-year plan, all right? This is not a one-shot. This is a 6-year plan for us by 2029 to be the biggest party in the country. And to achieve that, what do we need to do? We are going to get many millions of votes on the 4th of July. We've got to get some people, that spearhead, into Parliament. And right at the top of that list is Lee Anderson. Yeah. He's got guts, he's got courage, he's got conviction. We need him to win in Ashfield. We really do. I need you not just to come along and agree, not just to have a few selfies. I've done 128 so far today already. Not just to have a pint and a good time and speak to like-minded people. I need you to physically help this guy in any way you can. And that means knocking on doors. It means delivering leaflets. It means putting up posters. It means spreading the message. And if we do that, all of us collectively, this man will win in Ashfield on July the 4th. So please, let me ask you something. I want you to make a commitment to me today. Are you prepared to help Lee?
Yes!
Put your hands up if you're prepared to help Lee. Yeah. Thank you. Right, I've got photographs of all of you. If anyone breaks their promise, I'd accuse you of being a Conservative because they break their promises and we don't. So please, thank you for coming along, but I really mean what I say. Very often in life, and particularly in politics, perspiration is as valuable as inspiration. Working on the ground, speaking to people, giving them that sense that Lee can do it, and also telling them, in this constituency, a Conservative vote is a wasted vote. This is between Anderson of Reform and the Labour Party. Vote Conservative, get Labour. Vote Reform, you get this guy. Thank you very much indeed.